Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network. Welcome to Gun Sports Radio, all about shooting, hunting, self-defense, and more. Now, here are the hosts of Gun Sports Radio, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome. Gun Sports Radio, show number 40. I'm so glad you do that. That is so cool.
It is cool.
Hey, we have a new sponsor on hand, Gator Z Sunglasses.
It's Gators, yeah. Gator Sunglasses. I was up there in Carlsbad at their
it's not
store.
Gator Z?
No, Gators, and they are taking over for Navy SEALs. Yeah. They are the preferred sunglasses for Navy SEAL, made of all aluminum billet with the double hinges. Amazing stuff. I'm actually tried them on Friday. They're going to ship a few to us for the show on Wednesday, and they're the new deal. Absolutely amazing. And actually, we're going to have the brand manager on the show next week.
Yeah, they're made out
on Mother's Day.
They're made out of the same material as the mil-spec AR lowers.
Really?
Yeah.
Aluminum?
Yeah.
Aluminium,
as the British say.
75 aluminum.
And they are the official sunglasses for the CrossFit Games.
Yep, CrossFit Games. People could check it out, too, at gators.com, Gatorz. And cool stuff.
They're hardcore. They're like they're not even glasses anymore. It's like a piece of equipment.
Yeah,
but they have the style, that you can wear every day. They're really cool.
They really, really are. I'm really looking forward to it.
Hey, speaking of style, look at that 511 gear on you, baby.
Hey, look at that 511 gear on you, baby.
Look at that.
We look like the Bobbsey twins. But you know what's cool? I got to tell you, man, and you're absolutely right. I mean, I had a wonderful time last night at the San Diego County Gun Owners Gala. And I wore a tuxedo, and I almost wore
Me too.
my
511 tactical
my 511 tactical shoes and pants.
Right.
I figured no one would ever know. They are that comfortable.
Yeah.
What's cool about them is the top is all elastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll button up and everything, but you just don't feel like you're.
Yep, and the women out there are wearing this activewear stuff, and that's becoming more mainstream for that. And guys don't do that; they just wear Levi's, and and they're just. That's so old school. These things, that 511 stuff is, as you guys all know, preaching to the choir. Well, it's just awesome.
How often do I get a shirt off the rack, and I have a 36-inch, arm length?
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So, hey, we also have to thank those guys at Gun Range San Diego.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, they were the star last night.
They really were. Yeah.
But I got to tell you, Gun Range San Diego is an amazing facility, folks. It's at 7853 Balboa Avenue in San Diego, 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Go to gunrangesandiego.com for all your needs when it comes to self-defense, guns, ammunition, training, just going out and hanging around and shooting the bull with Hollywood. I mean,
we got some big events coming up, too. Can't wait to talk about it later on.
I'm sure you do, and I can't wait for that either. But I got to say, Mr. Schwartz, what did you think of that pistol you got last night?
That was very cool.
Did you sleep with it? Tell the truth.
No.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I bet you did. I would have.
Cool. The whole event was cool.
Never been fired, dude.
The cylinders never even turned. It's amazing.
Does that not give you goosebumps on top of goosebumps?
I didn't know what to think. I was really surprised, and it was very nice for everybody listening. The board members of San Diego County Gun Owners, as a thank you and as a gift to me, gave me a Colt single action revolver that's never ever been fired, and what a nice gift, and what a great event. And Dave, you did a fantastic job.
Well,
I'm getting so much good feedback.
Really?
Oh yeah. People, you really made it a great event.
Even from Carl DeMaio?
Yeah, especially from Carl.
Boy, Carl was wound up last night, boy. I mean, you get him in his environment, man. He was ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. It was great. 465 Second Amendment loving people in a historic San Diego.
And you could have had more.
We could have.
Didn't you have to add tables towards the end?
We had to add tables, and we finally had to say, I'm sorry, we got to stop. We probably turned away 20, 30 people in the last couple of days because we just couldn't fit any more people in the room. And
first thing out of Lance's mouth, he says, I hope the fire marshal don't show up. Because we had like 2 pounds of salami in a 1 pound bag, for goodness sakes. But it worked so well, and the Hotel Del staff was awesome.
They were wonderful. They were great to us the whole time.
They
every
really were.
twist and turn. Now, the Gun Sports Radio, this show won our Media Player of the Year award, along with the Gun Range San Diego for sponsoring. And I was really proud to present that award to you guys.
Oh, well, dude, it was our pleasure. And I was really happy. Lance and I says, come on, let's make sure that it hangs it up in the walls at Gun Range San Diego.
Oh, don't think it won't be hanging up.
You better have that thing nailed up there right now, brother. You're supposed to go on there right after the party. Oh, that's right. You couldn't walk last night. I forgot.
Easy.
And also, too, yesterday, City Council member Chris Cate, proclamation of
what a deal there.
Yep. San Diego City Council.
That was a big deal.
That was a big deal. He kicked off the evening by presenting a proclamation signed by the San Diego mayor and all the city council members, except one. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But all the city council members signed it, and then the proclamation was that yesterday, May 6, 2017, was San Diego County Gun Owners Day.
Yeah, you have your own day, dude.
Yeah, that was big.
You have your own day.
Really, that's really cool.
Does that not just kind of knock your socks off?
It really is. The organization is only, we're just over a year and a half, and we've done so much and grown so much and done so much good in that short time. I don't even know what to say. It doesn't even feel real that the city of San Diego is honoring us that way.
Well, and the thing of it is too, I have to say, I had a lot of people that I was talking to saying, this is so cool. We're on the grassroots of something really, really, really big.
That's the feeling in the room.
And I didn't hear that from one. I heard that from a lot of people.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not one or two people. I mean, it's the Gun Range San Diego. It's Trident. It's this show. It's all the members.
Right.
It's a bunch of people. It's
this
RDL
nice lady
Tech
right over here.
It's my beautiful wife who does all the hard work.
Dude, she was hopping last night, and the rash is almost gone off my neck for where she had the leash. So it worked.
Well, I get it. And they're actually listening right now. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law and my sister-in-law and my niece were all there. They're listening now, and they were there helping last night.
Isn't that great?
Came into town from Nevada just to help with this event. How cool is that?
And bring you a pain pill for your back. Yeah. You hadn't gotten that, you'd have been a mess. Let me tell you.
Would have been a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, you also had Richard Bailey. He's the mayor of Coronado. Was there, had a table.
He was.
And his staff.
Congressman Duncan
Hunter was there.
The mayor of Poway, Steve
You had
Voss.
a lot of heavy hitters there.
Amanda Rigby was there, our dear friend in the north.
Up in Vista, yep.
Yeah,
and we had a great conversation at the end of the night, her and I. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Terrific.
And then don't forget Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby Franco. How great was that?
She broke down twice. That's how passionate she is about what she does.
She did.
Excellent.
She talked about, she's originally from Venezuela, and she talked about the tough time they're having there. What did you guys think of her talk?
Oh,
it was
emotional.
She talked about being a champion of your own life and being a champion for the people around you, and it really touched me. Like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, about how what it takes to be a champion, and it's not necessarily being an Olympian, but doing what it takes to be the champion of your own life for your own family, and what you do. What we all try to do for the Second Amendment, and I thought it was great. It was very inspirational to me.
Yeah, she's 5 feet tall, but she's 10 feet of personality.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. She's great.
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. No, it was, I posted it on Facebook. I said, I do a lot of events. I do a lot of emceeing, but that one meant more to me than anything I've ever done because of the vision, because of what you're trying to do is, all you're trying to do is help and educate.
Well, going back to, May 6th being San Diego County Gun Owners Day, it just goes to show what, there's so many people out here that get discouraged. Yep. My vote doesn't count.
Right.
My voice doesn't count. But when you do it and you do it the right way and you get involved and you put forth the effort, this is what happens. In less than a year in San Diego, Southern California, you get San Diego County Gun Owners Day.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's totally unheard of.
And it's because you have to get involved.
That's right.
You're leading the way, Mike. I just can't say
wow
enough.
Well, our motto is together we will win, and it's happening. Together we are winning.
Yeah. So don't think for 1 minute if you're a Second Amendment lover, follower, that the war's lost.
Yeah. Right. There is somebody out there listening.
Absolutely.
There's somebody there for you, and I think. After last night, well, you tell me because I wasn't able to go to the very first one. But every time you do one of these, doesn't the momentum roll into the next one?
Oh yeah.
And then it roll. I mean,
big time.
Okay, you've got, what, 600 people that belong to San Diego County gun owners right now?
We're up above 700, I believe now.
You'll be looking at 12, 13, 1,500, I'll bet you, by May 6th of next year.
So all summer, this summer, we're going to do a membership drive. And we're going to do a bunch of events that are focused on bringing in, the members now, having them bring in a couple people,
right.
Introduce them to the organization. And our goal is 2,000 members by the end of the year. So
2,000. You're bigger than me.
By
I like
December 31st, we want to get to 2,000 members. And we can do it. I mean, imagine if just every member just signed up a couple of their buddies. You know?
I totally agree. Yeah, I get there. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, there's a whole lot more right here on Gun Sports Radio, AM 1170, The Answer. Oh, there's no Nick. I guess we'll just keep talking. There's Nick. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. All right, let's take a quick break,
Even Nick.
Right here on AM 1170, we are The Answer.
AM 1170, The Answer.
Folks, hey, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio. I'm Dave.
I'm Lance, and they were playing our song earlier.
Yes, they were, but we're not going there. Hey, we want to thank Trident Gunsmithing for all their support. TridentGunsmithing.com, TridentGunsmithing.com, 858-8577-0576. The boys over at Trident were so good last night. They donated some killer stuff for our raffle prizes. And I tell you, they are that kind of people. Ex-military, they are definitely serve their country well, so you need to serve them as well. TridentGunsmithing.com, TridentGunsmithing.com.
I just picked up an M1 Garand that I had dropped off over there to get put in a new stock, and it is phenomenal.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my!
Dan is a wizard when it comes to
Dan, he put this thing in a new stock. It looks
like it's new.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible.
Wow,
I mean,
really?
I can't even. I don't have the words. Everybody that sees it thinks it's.
So what was it now? It was an M1 Garand.
It's the M1 Garand that I won when I was on the Marine Corps shooting team.
Nice.
For being a high shooter, blah blah.
So it needed a new stock.
Well, it didn't need one, but the original stock, because it's Secretary of the Navy rifle, I didn't want my grimy hands leaving stains on it, so I bought a
replacement.
A replacement stock, nothing expensive. Took it over there. He took his time, and it looks like a museum piece. I'm not even kidding.
That's amazing.
Hey, is John Dillon on the line?
John Dillon's on the line.
Is John Dillon on the line?
Yeah.
Mr. Dillon.
Nice to be here again.
Yeah.
You won something last night.
He did.
Yes, I did.
What'd you win?
I won a M-Lock Rail handguard for an AR.
Nice.
And I already picked out something for that to go on.
Funny thing.
That's CIM Tactical, that one?
Yes.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a great-looking handguard, and I'm excited to put it to use. It should be fun.
Well, I appreciate you guys supporting and sponsoring a table last night, John. I know you looked like you guys were having a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, we had a blast last night. The entire event was great. Got to meet and talk to a lot of new people with sharing like minds, and got to meet some old friends that we haven't seen in a while, so it was a fantastic time, and I think San Diego County gun owners did their job right.
Thank you.
And you give your wife a great big hug from the San Diego County Gun Owner Association for being such a sweetheart. Yeah.
Yeah, she had a good time last night, and so again, it was a great time.
Yeah, well, that was my first time there, and like I was telling these guys, the people I was talking to, nothing but positive, and the fact that everybody looked at this as a grassroots, event that is going to do nothing but grow and just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that was the message of the night last night for me, anyway.
Definitely, I completely agree. I think that San Diego County gun owners are doing something that
nobody else
organization is doing, and they're doing it way better than anyone else could. So, again, that's why I'm involved. I firmly believe in what we're going for here, and starting local and raising these representatives up right before they get to that state level.
That's right. All right, so ruin our day. What do you got for us?
Well, again, last week I talked about lawsuit that was filed against California's newest assault weapon ban. This was also filed in late April, but I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but Firearms Policy Coalition, the Cal Guns Foundation, the Second Amendment Foundation all came together naming a couple plaintiffs, one of which is William Weiss, to challenge Senate Bill 1446 and Proposition 63, both of which are trying to ban the mere possession of what is referred to as a high-capacity magazine, anything over 10 rounds. Now, to give a little backstory on this, years ago, back in 1999-2000, the original bill, Senate Bill 23, was passed. Now, this prohibited the purchasing, sale, or transfer of high-capacity magazines. In that bill, it specifically exempted people who owned high-capacity magazines before 2000 were allowed to keep them. It did not ban the possession of those magazines, so people were grandfathered in. And hundreds of thousands of people have these magazines. There's probably millions in California legally, and they've owned them legally for 17 years. Both SB 1446 and Prop 63 are trying to take away that exemption and put an outright ban on all high-capacity magazines, regardless of when you got them. And so the Cal Guns Foundation, Firearms Policy Coalition, Second Amendment Foundation, they're all getting together, and they're challenging this law with a lawsuit, seeking declaratory and injunctive relief. And they're challenging these laws based off the Second Amendment, and then the Due Process Clause and Takings Clause of the Fifth Amendment through the 14th Amendment.
And
we have this. The big things when it comes to these laws is that, one, this was a specific thing that everyone was carved out. Possession was okay at a certain time. Now these new laws are trying to take away legally owned property without any due process and without any compensation. So it amounts to a taking, and that's one of the arguments in the brief. And then the other huge problem we have with these laws is 1446 and Prop 63 actually conflict in the laws they're trying to impose. 1446 allows for an exemption under the law, which allows people to keep a high-capacity magazine if that magazine can only be used for, one firearm and there's no other low-capacity ones available for that firearm. However, Prop 63 doesn't allow that. And they both have different penalties for any violations, so there's a huge conflict and vagueness on what's going on with these laws. No one knows how these laws are going to be enforced, including the Department of Justice. And so I think this is a great case to file.
And now, I just want to point out the plaintiff, William Weiss, that's B. Weiss for all you Cal Guns fans out there are must be real familiar with his handle, B. Weiss or B. Weiss. I'm not quite sure how to say his last name. Has been on Cal Guns for forever.
Yeah, he's a guy who knows his stuff on there, and he is a proponent of knowing the law, getting it right, and not spreading all these false interpretations. He is a very smart man, and I was actually really glad to see that name on the complaint.
Yeah. So what are the chances? I think I asked you this last week too, but our side never seems to get the injunction. It seems like if there's some kind of conflict, some kind of legal conflict, they get an injunction and it's at least paused while they figure it out. Do you think? What are the chances? Do you think?
This one, if I was going to give chances to anything getting an injunction, this one might actually work because of the conflict of law that's at issue. It really is a problem. Like when you have two laws in effect and they're both stating different things, you can't be just leaving that alone. That has to be stopped. It has to be analyzed and then addressed. And another big problem with Proposition 63 is you can't just amend the laws that were put into place under Prop 63. You need a 55% vote to amend anything on the ballot initiative. And so, it's not something that can just be, amended, on a Wednesday afternoon in the legislature. They have to. It goes through a formal process, so it's not a quick fix. And
thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for that.
Yeah. This is quite honestly, it was the most misguided and just frankly false propaganda spread through California to get this passed, including the title, which has absolutely nothing to do with the laws that are all
act. Ridiculous. Well, and there's another level of complication too. Like for example, I have 30-round magazines for my AR, totally legal. I've had them for decades now. That's how old I am. And but the thing is, what if a 30-round magazine for a 5.56 is a 10-round magazine for a 4.58 SOCOM? So it's the exact same piece of equipment. It just depends on the caliber that you're using on it. What happens in that situation?
They just didn't do their homework.
Well, they don't even care about their homework.
They really don't. Really don't. They're just throwing it against the wall, and if it sticks, it sticks. And hopefully they're thinking that we're so stupid that we won't figure it out.
They're hoping we're as stupid as they are.
That's exactly what they think. I mean, I hate to say it, but they really do. Oh, by the way, I have to throw a quick little plug out. San Diego skydiving team is listening to us as we speak.
Oh, nice.
Big supporters of Gun Sports Radio and also San Diego County gun owners.
Terrific.
Well, we got to convince Mike to get out there and jump out of that plane.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, well, Mikey and I are on the same plane because there's no way on this planet I'm jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
Yeah.
You'd have to push me out.
You couldn't even push me out. I'd be sitting on the pilot's lap. You're not getting me out of that perfect. And this woman jumps. She's a champion. She's amazing. And I
don't know how to do it. Joe, would you ever
fall out of an airplane?
Yeah, gracefully, yes.
I don't know how you do it.
Why do I imagine a big old sergeant throwing you out the window?
Yeah, he wasn't. They weren't even practicing with parachutes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they just throw him out the window.
I was just really annoyed. I wouldn't shut up. I wouldn't get off the radio.
Yeah. Now that makes perfectly good sense. I could see that happening all day long.
Hey, John, I got a question for you. Yeah. Is there any movement? I heard there's some movement, some litigation, some talk about the California approved gun roster. Is there any movement on that? Is there anything happening new with that right now?
You know what? I honestly can't tell you. I haven't heard anything, but then again, I've been bogged down this last week, so it would have had to been all over the place for me to pick up on it this week. But, we do see Peruta is still being decided on, I believe.
John,
it hasn't been put in the no pile, but it has been put in the yes pile.
Did you read the sheriff? I hate to interrupt. I'm sorry, but did you read the sheriff's op-ed?
I did.
What a load of! I mean, that was.
I had to stop, walk away, and then come back to finish it.
Talk about being dishonest.
There's nothing I hate more than someone who spouts out the law, but the wrong law. There's nothing that prohibits him in any way from interpreting good cause as general self-defense.
Stay tuned because
nothing in the law, the statute. Don't ever believe anyone who tells you otherwise.
Well, stay tuned because in the next couple of weeks, San Diego County Gun Owners has a response to that op-ed. So,
okay, I think it'll be brutal.
Come back after the break.
All right, hey, tell you what, John, the rain has stopped, so get out there and cut your grass.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. It's always good talking to you, man.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Johnny.
Hey, we also want to thank Gators for a phenomenal sponsorship. Precision eyewear that you will not find anywhere else. I mean, this stuff is so heavy duty, Hollywood could wear them and not break them. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Gators.com.
Gators.com, spelled GATORZ.com. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we got more. Mr. Hollywood is going to tell us everything he can remember in 5 minutes.
AM 1170, The Answer.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170, The Answer. This segment is brought to you by Gun Range San Diego, located at 7853 Balboa Avenue in San Diego, 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Go to gunrangesandiego.com, gunrangesandiego.com for all of your gun needs. They have got personal training at the range. They sell ammo, guns. They do training. They've got ranges they can take you out on. First-time shooter, no problem. You want to do groups, that can happen as well. Maybe you want to do a little motivation for your company. Just go down to Gun Range San Diego, tell them you'd like to talk about putting together a little program, and they'll be more than happy to take care of it for you from mild to wild. So Gun Range San Diego is your one-stop shop for gun education, gun shooting, and gun fun. So come on down, and when you do, make sure you run down Joe Holyfield, commonly known as Hollywood. Speaking of which, what's kicking, buddy?
I
Nice.
tell you,
By the way, I understand hat you wore last night. That's dress up. I didn't.
that is my dress up.
And there was
hat,
only
yeah.
two of you cowboys in there. There was one other guy that had a hat too.
That was
a
Mayor.
couple- there was a
Mayor
couple.
Steve Voss from Power.
Yeah, that's right.
Bayless,
now,
too.
is a white hat formal and a black hat? I'm gonna kick your butt. I don't get it.
Well, it just depends on, for me anyway, it depends on what color my boots are.
Oh, I got you. Who was that one guy from Shooters
Hangout?
Dude, you see his boots?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those-
Lance Reader.
Lance Reader's boots,
Nice
yeah.
bone, man. You should see Lance trying to tip him upside down and take him.
I wore my ostrich boots.
I know.
I had my Caymans on last night.
I didn't have
It
anything.
was a time for the boots.
I know I should get mine.
Next time.
It was boot night.
All right, what do you got for us?
Hey, Gun Range San Diego last night, sponsored with the Gun Sports Radio and gave away a Wyndham Weaponry AR-15. Loved giving it away. Cost me a little bit, but we'll work that out later. We had a great time, and what I really liked was personally is all of the customers who, and I'll admit I don't always remember names, but luckily everybody had name tags on last night. But everybody wanted to come and tell me stories like, "Oh, I was at your range the other day and you weren't there," and blah blah blah, and this stuff, and then that happened, and just it's such a fun time. We have such a family atmosphere over there at Gun Range San Diego that, and I know that, and we talk about it on the show, but it really hits home when people come up to you and was like, "Hey, I heard you were in Arizona last weekend, and this is what was going on while you were gone." When it's like you're talking to an old friend you've had for years, and it's a customer and a friend that you have there at the shop. So it just reaffirmed that I'm working at the right place, I'm working with the right people, and we're doing the right thing. And it just made me happy to be a part of San Diego County Gun Owners last night. We had a great time.
That means a lot. Thank you. And the donation of that AR was fantastic. I really apprecied it.
Yes,
Veronica, if you're listening, thank you so much. You guys are so supportive and just a fantastic show.
And she won the media award last night,
Yep.
so we all got to go up to the media booth.
Yeah.
That was really cool. It kind of felt like a little red carpet area over there, where you had the backdrop and the camera, and so you got to go over. We got to take our photo, and it was pretty special.
Well, I think the way they gave back to the donors, I think, was huge. I mean,
absolutely.
They really went over the top to make sure that everybody in that room knew who donated what and how much hard work that went involved. And and a lot of times when you do those kinds of events, that's the lacking part of it. They'll hit on the little, who sponsored or who gave this gun or who gave this. Whatever.
Yeah, it'd be on the back of the program.
Yeah, but you got to hit it hard, man, because you could hear it. It was so cute when I was doing it. You could hear.
Yeah, when people would come,
when you'd mention their name or their store or what have you, and that's what you're
Yeah.
looking for. You want because they need that recognition. And I couldn't.
and the camaraderie.
Yeah, that was the best.
Between all the gun stores and things like that, which I thought was also a great part of last night.
Yeah.
And I know is really important to Veronica is the camaraderie between all the different gun stores and things like that, where it's not a competition all the time, where we can all get together, be on the same team.
Yeah, but isn't that your goal? To get all of the gun ranges, gun stores, anybody involved in this industry to work as a unit, a fist.
That's right. No, we can't. No one's alone anymore.
No.
We're all in this.
They might be
community
afraid,
together.
but they're not.
We had gun shops.
Sorry about that. Little plug there.
I love it.
We had gun shops as far north as Fallbrook, all the way down to Chula Vista, all the way out to El Cajon, all across the whole county. And everybody came together, and there were people on different sides of the political spectrum, and you name it, all ages, men and women, you name it, were there for one reason, and that's to celebrate the Second Amendment.
And
Celebrate and
somebody
support.
asked me, were there any protesters? No, not a one.
Yep, not a one.
Well, I'm just bringing it up because somebody asked
even a little
me.
bit.
Well, because, let's face it, what we're doing is not the norm in California.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Between
It will
the radio,
be.
between the radio show and between, San Diego County gun owners, we're pushing back on a really big wave, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to accomplish
Well, when
it.
you do it the right way, like
works.
San Diego County Gun Owners,
Yes.
Gun Range San Diego,
Yes.
when you do it the right way, you don't create that rift. So there was no protesters. It was a great event for everybody. And San Diego, the Gun Range San Diego, we're not stopping with last night. We got some great events coming up. We're doing Glock Days, talking about working with, within the industry. We're doing Glock Days coming up next weekend. And we're going to have a rep from Glock there. You can have night sights, tritium field night sights installed for $60. These things are normally $99 just for the sights.
Not installed.
Not installed. Now they're installed for $60. We're going to have a Glock rep there telling you the history of Glock. You bring your gun by. If it's not running right, you think you want a new trigger. You want just the Glock guy just to tune it up a little bit, like the race gun, like Lance does.
Yep.
Bring it on by, and he'll take good care of it. We're going to have it's going to be 2 days.
And that's a really big deal. And I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I dropped off 3 of my Glocks. So you guys have them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be traveling, so I dropped 3 Glocks off to put those sights on there. Those night
Okay,
sights.
I'll make sure it happens.
Yeah. So anyway, it's huge.
For everybody else, though, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because we're going to be selling Glocks.
You think you might be busy?
We're going to be selling Glocks at such a low price again, and I know it sounds cliche, but we really can't. We can't advertise it. Glock will not allow us to advertise how low we're going to be selling Glocks.
Well,
And it's going to be the lowest that. It's going to be like buying a used Glock.
Did you sell that to my wife? One of you guys showed my wife a gun, and
It was me.
And she's thrilled to death.
Yeah, it was a shield, I think.
He has no clue.
I think it was a shield.
It has a
shield.
hole in the front where the bullet comes out. That's all.
Whatever it was.
It didn't bark.
That works.
It
Yeah,
didn't bark.
yeah.
So to her, it
Yeah,
didn't.
Michelle was looking
if
bad.
she,
Oh, no. Yeah. There was a Glock, too. There was a Glock. Yeah, there was a
Something
Glock.
you showed
Yeah.
her. One was too big.
Yeah.
But then here he is working.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
working the floor. But
I'm going to
whatever
sell
it
your
is-
wife a gun. That's what's happening right there.
Yeah, well, because she found one, she loved it. She said it was
if
perfect.
if it's that M&P Shield right now, you come down to Gun Range San Diego. They're only like $439,
Right.
and then you send in your receipt to Smith & Wesson. You
Oh,
get a
just so you get-
$75 rebate.
It is a Smith & Wesson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You get
it was a shield.
$75
It was a
Remember
shield.
that.
Yeah, it was a
a
shield.
$75 rebate off a $440 gun. Are you kidding
Wow.
me? Get that thing for
But going back to those
$350.
Glocks for a second, I mean, I think most everybody should have a Glock. It's kind of like, there's so many parts for them and everything. It's like kind of like the Chevrolet in a sense too, just to have one, because if you ever need parts for it or something, and everyone's got some. You got
They're very prevalent.
magazines and
yeah,
just
you can go to any gun store, any online store, and they're going to have a Glock section. I mean,
Right.
that's for sure. But we're going to have these Glock days coming up next weekend, and you will not find a lower Glock price in California this year. You will not get a better chance to learn about Glocks. If you have one, you want to have yours tuned up. And what's going to happen is if you do buy a new Glock next month, which is going to be about 3 weeks away, you're going to come in. We're going to have a special event just for people who buy guns this weekend. We're going to open up the range, private event before we open with the Glock manager, with the guy from Glock.
Oh, good.
To give you a little brief history on Glock, what Glock's all about, and we're going to do some range demonstrations with some really fancy, tricked-out Glocks that he's going to be bringing next month. So if you buy one this month, you buy one this weekend, you come back, and you're going to get a very special one-on-one day with the Glock.
Other than that, if you have a Glock, just bring it down for $60. That's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. It's
Just
a huge
bring
deal.
it down.
And we're going to be doing other stuff, too. If you want your trigger done, you want the
Anything.
extended side release. Anything that has to do with Glock, we're going to be doing it. We're going to have kind of a part of the store sectioned off. We're going to have the doors open. It's going to be a great time.
First come, first serve.
It's going to be
appointment.
first come, first serve. We can't pre-sale.
Okay.
And I've had some customers complain. Well, I want a pre-sale. I've been a customer for a long time, but worst thing we could ever do is pre-sell them all, and then you show up on the day of the sale and
right.
not have
Yeah.
any. So, but trust me, we've been buying Glocks. If you're following us on Instagram or Facebook, we've been, putting out pictures. We've got stacks as tall as me and as wide of Glocks. So we got plenty.
And what's the date and time again?
It's Saturday and Sunday, and from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
This coming up Saturday.
It's like Mother's Day,
13th
right?
and 14th. Mother's Day.
Right.
Mother's
13th,
Day.
14th.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Yep. Come on out. We're going to take really good care of you. Everything Glock, we're going to be taking care of you. And then we still got the Springfield deal going on too. You mentioned Glocks like the Chevrolet of guns, and you could say Springfield might be the Ford. So whether you're like a Chevy or a Camaro or a Mustang,
I love those Springfields.
You come down there for those Springfields. They're the exact same price right now, and you send in your receipt to Springfield, and you get 4 magazines, a holster, and a magazine caddy. That's $180 value, and they just send it directly to your door. All you got to do is send in the copy of your receipt.
That's sweet.
Wow, that's awesome.
All right. Well, hey, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we got a whole lot more. In fact, Brian Jones is going to be calling in.
Brian Jones is calling in.
Guy's awesome.
He is a Santee City Council member.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll get him on the line. So we'll wait and see that happens. And again, we really want to throw a big shout out to Gators Sunglasses. Shop online, www.gatorz.com for all of your high-end sunglasses at not high-end prices. So check them out, gatorz.com. We'll be back in a moment. This is Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170. The Answer. That's right. The Answer.
AM 1170. The Answer.
Hey, folks. Hey, welcome back. Gun Sports Radio. We're on such a high from last night, folks, we can't even begin to tell you. San Diego County gun owners had their second annual fundraiser gala, and let me tell you, we rocked the Dell. I don't think the Crown Room has seen action like that since Nixon. You like that? Hey, really want to give a shout-out again to Triton Gunsmithing. They were there last night as well, and Juan just had a great time. And
with his beautiful wife.
Beautiful wife. Gave us a fantastic, what was that, a lower? Upper. I knew if I was guessing if I'd get that wrong.
You had a 50-50 shot.
I know, and leave it to me. Well, I didn't have my handler close by. TritonGunsmithing.com, TritonGunsmithing.com. Absolutely nobody will take better care of you. They've got a full-blown machine shop and gunsmithing shop, and Dan over there is just a wizard when it comes to taking whatever piece of junk you've got and turning it into a superstar. So TritonGunsmithing.com, TritonGunsmithing.com, 858-577-0576. And by the way, I forgot to mention, we were had John, Dillon on, but I forgot to mention he's from Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance,
yes,
which is your go-to law firm if you ever get yourself into a situation, heaven forbid, that you need a lawyer when it comes to gun ownership. John and his team over there, that's what they do. Anything and everything. And they're not one of these kind of guys, they'll charge you for everything. No, they're really good. Ask Joe.
Yeah,
if Joe had to pay for every time he called him, he wouldn't have a Harley. He would be walking. So it's just that simple. So, folks, if you ever have a need, it's Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance, 760-431-9501 or www.cafirearmslaw.com.
I really can't say enough nice things about those guys. I'm on the phone with them a couple times a week.
Yeah, and I've seen his phone. It's got your speed dial on there.
Yeah. It's probably got a big red circle with a cross to it. Don't answer.
Well, I think everybody uses them. I mean, I know Michael does. I mean, with as much as you're involved in.
He said, he's such a he's always available. He knows what he's talking about. He specializes in firearms law, that sort of thing. So there's no guessing. Like, he knows what he's talking about. It's a hobby, it's a passion, and it's a profession for him. And he's such a great resource.
And then he go, hey, here's a reference. This is what I'm telling you. Here's the reference from where I got it. In case you need it. In case you need, yeah. It's amazing, especially when you get the internet tough guys or whatever. Or they come in and say, my buddy knows the guy who knows the guy who once was a lawyer,
right.
Or whatever, and you're like, well, here it is, read it.
There you go.
Do what you need to do.
All right, well, hey, put your cans back on. We've got Brian Jones has made it to the phone. Brian, how are you today, sir?
Hey, guys, what's happening?
We're just having a blast. How about you?
You know what? Your words about last night were right on the mark, man. I was wondering, when was the last time the Hotel Dale saw so many firearms on property?
Boy, isn't that the truth? That's the first thing I was thinking of, man, I'll tell you. But, yeah, was that not a great event last night or what?
No, that was great. That was a home run, and I think it exceeded expectations. And, I think a couple of takeaways from it are, how latent the market is here in San Diego for this kind of activity, this political action, and how long people have been waiting for something positive to happen. I mean, this is the third year and really only the second official year, and that's probably one of the largest groups the Hotel Dale has any time of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was incredible.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Brian. And for those of you listening, Brian is the real deal when it comes to elected people that stand up for your Second Amendment rights. He walks the walk and talks the talk, and he's absolutely fantastic. And he was in the Assembly, and now he's on the Santee City Council, and he's running for state senate after Joel Anderson gets termed out here. So we got to get him back in office. He's a good friend. He's a huge supporter. He's a board member of San Diego County Gun Owners, and he's just a great guy.
And he's got our votes. That's what's important.
I hope so.
Yeah, of course you do. Absolutely. Of course you do. And that was what was so good last night. That across the board, different types of politicians, different types of business owners. I mean, all the different gun stores, all the different gun ranges, everybody that kind of competes, we're all there as a unit, all in unity. And I think that's the beauty of that event last night.
Right, absolutely. No, there's the and the diversity of the group. I mean, it was just amazing the different types of people that were there. As you're saying, united under one cause, focused on the Second Amendment, focused on San Diego County, and I think that's what makes San Diego County gun owners unique in that we've got a mission, we know what the mission is, and we're staying disciplined to the mission.
There you go. Exactly right.
Diversity, very diverse, very, very diverse crowd last night. If you weren't there, I mean, it's
pretty good.
Diversity is the best way to put it.
We had everything. Yeah, go ahead, Lance.
Hey, Brian, I had a question for you. So I attended the event, the Second Amendment event that you put on at the Lemon Grove Rod and Gun Club. Are you going to do something like that again?
Soon.
Yeah, it's going to be carried under Randy Vopel's name this year.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Okay.
And it's earlier this year. I think it's the first Saturday in September. But we'll make sure we get you guys the dates.
So we can get it out to the listener.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's
now,
great.
how many? You started doing that when you got into the Assembly, right?
That's correct.
And to my knowledge, you're just about the only person, and maybe even the first person that's serving in Sacramento that's having a Second Amendment Day. I mean, what? Talk about how that. What gave you that idea, or how you started doing that?
It kind of just happened organically. Really, it wasn't. I didn't. When I got elected, I was pro Second Amendment, pro firearm, and pro gun, and all that, but I didn't really. It wasn't a cause of mine. But somewhere around the summer of that first year in 2011, the legislature attempted to pass some really bad bills, and I actually won my first shotgun at a Republican event up in Northern California at the Yuba City Republican Annual Gala. I put in a raffle, about a $20 raffle ticket, and won a Remington 870 Express. That was really my first gun, was winning it in a raffle after I got elected to the Assembly. And then we got invited to an Friends of NRA dinner. Heather and I did, and she won a .44 Magnum.
I remember that.
Yeah. Go ahead, make my day.
Yeah, she didn't even know what she had, and that gun is so awesome. And then, so that was that first year, and then in the summer, some point in time, the folks from Lemon Grove Rod and Gun Club, Sue Johnson and her husband gosh, I'm embarrassed. I'm forgetting.
That's all right.
Eric,
We understand.
Eric, Sue and Eric.
Anyways, the Johnsons, approached us, and they wanted to do something with Constitution Week, a shooting event up there, and we said, yeah, we'll headline it, and it took off from there. And that first year was so successful that I just made the determination we were going to do it every year.
Yeah, it was huge. Every year, it's really great.
Eric Johnson, I think.
Eric Johnson, Sue and Eric Johnson. Yeah, every year it's huge and it's educational, and you get the public out there, and you always get some media, and you're able to you represent us, outstandingly well, and I just really appreciate it.
So what does that tell you?
Well,
that tells you doesn't that tell you the public needs more and more of what you're doing?
There you go.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. I continued it after the first year. So the first year, I'm walking away from the pistol pit with 3 older ladies, and they were down there shooting, and they were doing pretty good. And there was 2, ladies in their 60s, and a third lady I really couldn't tell how old she was, and I'm asking her, well, how'd you do? Oh, I did great. Is this your first time shooting? Yeah, this is my first time shooting. And I go, I know it's not polite, but I just got to ask, do you mind if I ask how old you are? And she goes, Sonny, I don't care. You can ask me anything you want to ask me. I'm 81 years old. And I'm like, 81? And I go, you've never shot a gun in your life? And she goes, no, this is my first time. This is my first time ever shooting a handgun.
Wow.
And she goes, I really appreciate the instructors that you had out here. They're professional. They were, they took their time. I go, why at 81 years old are you coming out here to learn how to shoot a handgun? And she goes, let me tell you something. I live in a mobile home park in El Cajon. It's not in the bad part of town, but it's not in the best part of town. And so this was in September. She goes, my husband just died in June, and I've always counted on him to protect me. And he's not here anymore, and I'll be damned if anybody's going to break into my house without a fight.
Whoa. All right. Well, hey, that's a great way to have you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, because we're going to have to let you go, Brian. But as always, a good seeing you last night, and we appreciate your friendship and partnership, not only to the radio show, but to San Diego County gun owners. And we'll be behind you 110%. And anytime you need air, it's yours.
Yeah, you guys keep up the good work, and let's win this for all of California.
You got it, buddy. All right. Hey, we're going to have to take us. Well, we're leaving now. The show is over. But, hey, before we do that, May 14th is Mother's Day. Yes, we will be live on air. But in 2 weeks, May 20th to 21st, is a Crossroads of the West Del Mar Gun Show. If you haven't been to a gun show, you need to go there as well. And then May 29th, we want to salute all the military, because Monday is Memorial Day on the 29th. Hey, we want to thank our sponsors again one more time. Gun Range San Diego, Trident Gunsmithing, Gator Z Sunglasses, and our good buddies John Dillon at Gatsky Dillon and Balance LLP. And like I always say, Gun Range San Diego. Nobody does it better. All right, we're out of here. Rubber side down, shiny side up. We'll be back next week, AM 1170.
The Answer.
The Answer.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.